Happy Thursday morning, builders one and all. This is Chris from CD Scale Models. I'm actually doing a video. I'm doing it now because I don't have to be at work until an hour and a half from now. So my house is quiet. Everybody's gone except my dog. So I figured I'm going to make a follow-up video. If you've been following my buddy build with Justin from J Hart Model Works, if no one knows him, get over to his channel, check it out. He's one of my good friends on the channel. Justin, Frank Frizzo. I know his name's not Frizzo. I know his real last name, but I refer to him as Frank Frizzo. David Chin and Craig Godfrey. We're kind of like our own, I don't know. I consider them my first go-tos, if you want to say that. So I became friends with all of them pretty quickly. And I just wanted to say hi to everybody out there. So anyway, if you've been following our buddy build, we're doing the Meng 124 scale 1966 Ford GT40. And I've been having a lot of issues with, not the kit. The kit's fine. I'm going to show you in a few minutes my progress, and I don't have much to go on it. I was having airbrush problems, but before I get into that, I just wanted to give two shop card shout outs to two members in the community. Pat from Cards Scale Dreams. He's in Canada, and he kind of reminds me of Justin in the sense of the way he builds, and he's kind of meticulous. I like the meticulous aspect of a kit builder, probably because I'm like that. A lot of people don't do the fine details, and I gravitate to that. So, Pat, I want to thank you for the card. I did get it, and I didn't forget you. It's just that I haven't had any time to make a video because I've been having issues with the paint on this car, and the paint is god-awful. I'll get to that, but I wanted to thank you. Check out Pat's channel. He's a really, really good builder, and I enjoy his content. Rob from Time Machine Scale Models. Rob, I did get your updated card, obviously. I got it a few weeks ago. I didn't have time to comment on yours for the same reasons, but I didn't want to discredit you from sending me your card. So I want to thank you for sending me the new card. Again, I haven't watched his channel in a while either because I've been trying to find time and I've been having a lot of issues. So anyway, I just wanted to thank Rob. Check out Rob's channel as well. Another very, very good community asset. Pretty wide in the community. So anyway, I'm going to touch really quick on what happened. The MCW lacquer paint, I do not like at all. I know they're probably more known for their enamels, but I don't care for their lacquer. I didn't like the way it went down. I usually wet sand my paint. That paint did not wet sand well at all. I went through a whole bottle of it, and I did not like it. So then I was having an airbrush issue. I have a Grex airbrush, and it's a great airbrush. I was having an issue with it. When I laid down the 2K, it didn't go down smooth, and it had nothing to do with my mixture, because I have my mixture down. I use No Name 2K. It's great stuff. It was the airbrush itself. The trigger felt funny, and I was having issues with air. So I had to take the whole kit, throw it in alcohol, strip it, redo it. Then I had to order 2K because I ran out of 2K. I was on a waiting list for 2K from No Name. So I have a nice new body now that's all painted. I use Tamiya Mica Blue. It's the exact same blue. Excuse me, guys, it's early. And that paint turned out a lot better. After I got the 2K on, went on pretty well, no problems. Then I noticed when I was touching up some other parts, I was still having airbrush issues. Then my compressor that I first had when I started the channel, that kind of finally died on me, which was okay because I had a brand new compressor. I have a much better compressor now with a separate air tank. So that turned out well, but I didn't need that in the middle of the build. Then I had to take my airbrush, and my fluid nozzle was clogged. Then I wound up losing it. So I had to order another nozzle. I was on a waiting list for that. Then when I got the nozzle back, my airbrush worked for about a day or so, and then I was having air issues. I was having leakage. I took it apart, deep cleaned it still. I sent it back to Grex. Grex said to me there's nothing wrong with it. There was an issue when I took something apart, it wasn't quite properly seated in the airbrush. But that doesn't make sense to me because even before I took the airbrush apart, and I've never took my airbrush apart to deep clean it. I take it apart religiously to regularly clean it. I never had an air issue. So I think maybe there was something when the airbrush was actually manufactured, it didn't quite work well. I noticed on the airbrush with the trigger, when you spray the trigger a little bit, air is supposed to come out, and then when you spray it further, you get product. Since I had the airbrush, I would spray it a little bit and I would get nothing. If I went further, then I would get product. I never got air. My workaround was I would take the needle, pull it back a tad, tighten it, and then I would just get product. So I really never got air, and I just worked with the airbrush that way. When I told the gentleman from Grex, I said, I've been working this way since I had the airbrush. He said, well, by me fixing that little valve and seating it properly, he said, now you don't have to worry about it. So I think when the airbrush was initially manufactured, it wasn't manufactured properly. It worked, but it didn't work the way it was supposed to. So at any rate, my airbrush is on its way back. I had to use my beginner airbrush, my master airbrush, the pen airbrush, which I'm not comfortable with, but I got through it. So anyway, I've been having a lot of issues, but I want to show you my progress. You stay here, coffee. All right, so here's my progress, everybody. It's painted. I'm going to try to go as fast. I don't like to stay past 15 minutes because I think YouTube actually shuts off my videos. It's painted in mica blue, 2K'd. Came out great. The kit has these little knobs. I don't know what they are, honestly. I don't know what they're used for. I don't know. I guess it's the way you open the door on the car. I sanded those off. I have little oblong pins, and the pin heads are the same shape. I put those on instead. Yeah, I did crucify this kit. I was able to crucify it, so I know the naysayers are going to say, wow, what a surprise. You left a stock kit alone that was not really meant to be fooled with, but I got to thank Justin because he started this build before me because he didn't have any airbrush issues. So he gave me a couple of tips, actually, to say, okay, when you build the kit, do this, do this. So I want to thank Justin because he was on this build a lot quicker than I was. He started it when I was away. I used Tamiya Extra Thin on just about everything because that's the way to go. You use CA glue, you run the risk now of having issues because it goes on a little too thick. Gas caps in, I masked off the glass, I painted it black. I painted underneath the headliner area. I brush painted that with black craft paint. Panel lines are all deepened. I painted the latches to lift up the front end. That's done. Rear panel. I put metal rivets, the top studio ones, the same ones Justin did. We had the same exact idea. That's the kit photo etch. Here's what I did that Justin didn't do, and this is where I'm a wacko. If you can see over there, the kit has little tiny rivet detail on the sides of the scoops, and it has it all around the center scoop. First of all, what I did was, the center scoop has a little piece of clear plastic that's supposed to lay over it. I didn't like that. I took fine mesh, and if you can see, I put fine mesh over it. Justin put his underneath, so you can still see his, but mine's a little more just noticeably visible. I kind of like that look. When you first walk up to it, you notice it. But I put 0.4 millimeter rivets on all of those. I drilled them out with the smallest drill bit I had, dropped the rivets in, glued them from the bottom. You can't tell, it looks great. I also put a knob there, a little pin there, and pinhead. Again, it's the oblong pinhead. This side of the kit has two. I guess that's where you lift up the hatch from. Those are pinheads. That's all taken care of. This is nothing exciting. This is just the rear hatch that goes into here. I did use the magnets like Justin suggested because, yeah, there is a natural warp to this kit, to this piece. It's a natural warp. You can't notice it, but when you're trying to put everything together, it comes through. I put magnets on it, just like Justin. Worked out well. Metal hood pins. I put metal hood pins. I sanded off the kit ones. This little brace in the middle, I don't know how I saw it, but I was looking at reference pictures and I saw a GT40 that had this little brace picture. It was painted red. And I said, oh, that's kind of cool. Because I used all red and blue fittings. And then these two pieces on the end I made silver. So that's a nice touch. Now here's the kit. I did the same thing with the rivets like Justin. All the rivets in the seats. I put harness seatbelts in blue. I put the little badges on the sides of the harness seatbelts like real race cars have. I added the fan just like Justin. Justin sent me the fan. He also sent me this oil tank. Justin, thank you. We ran our ProTech lines. I ran the Top Studio anodized lines and fittings, and then I attached the red and blue fittings to them. So all the fittings in this car are anodized red and blue. I didn't do the Cobra air cleaner like Justin did because I didn't want to cut out that little recess that the air cleaner is supposed to go over to. I just didn't want to do it, and I just said the hell with it. Besides, I didn't want to copy Justin. Not that he would have looked at it that way. Anyway, I weathered up the engine. I did it in an exhaust manifold, and then I did brown and black and dark silvery gray tones. So it looks really, really convincing. I've seen different colors of this exhaust. I wanted to do it just kind of where it looks weathered, and it looks weathered. I'm trying to think what else I did. I ran the fittings on the sides of the oil coolers, if you can see. All braided line, Top Studio filters. I ran lines over there from the fuel. I added a fuel filter. I don't know how well you're going to see it because it kind of gets lost in there, but there's a fuel filter. I don't know what this piece is here. I think it's like a radiator of some kind, or it looks like a radiator, but I put a little small Great Details radiator cap on it. I ran black rubber lines to it. And then I just put my bolt details here and there on the car, wherever there's bolt details. On the front end, I put bolt details where the braces are. Bolt details there. There's different size bolt details there. Here's a real cool thing on this kit. The kit has molded in bolt details, which is where the frame gets married to the belly pan. So I used the super small 20 thousandths ProTech bolt heads. There's 21 on each side. There's 42 in total. I did this by hand with the 0.2 mechanical pencil. I don't know how well the camera's going to show it because there's a glare. You could see now. I got them so even you'd never know it. I did it on both sides. And, for Christ's sake, you want to work with me? Anyway, and then I put some bolt details underneath the engine. I weathered up the wheels. I added a couple of things. You really can't see it. The shifter has a little cable that runs from the shifter and it kind of goes into the dashboard. You're really not going to be able to see it, but I ran it over there if you can kind of see it. I got rid of the kit knob because the kit shift lever looked like a match. It was stupid. So I used a straight pin, and then I used one of my Mr. Model shift lever knobs, and I put a little tiny dab of clear blue on top of it. Also on the seatbelt latch piece, if you can see right there, I put a little clear blue there just for details. So all in all, the kit's ready to go. The only thing I have to do is I have a decal that's going to go on the bottom, and it's gold, and it says Ford, and it's going to match the wheels. So that's going to be the very last thing I have to do. I just have to prime and paint the hood latches because I was having an issue shaving them. So I'm just going to prime and paint them in the next couple of days because it's really nice here. And all I have to do is just fit the body on, the rear hatch, and then the decals are going to be the last thing. And then this kit is ready to go. So I hope everyone is doing well. Enjoy the upcoming weekend. I'm sorry I've been away, but I've been feverishly busy. and let me know what you guys think. But yes, Justin and I were able to make these kits our own. It's a really nice kit. I know a lot of people had issues. Justin and I really didn't for the most part. We just took our time and we worked through the issues. Very, very nice kit. So have a great day and let me know. See you later, people.